I'll read here what you sent me. I'm old, fat, my hair's falling out, my body is drooping. Who's going to love me? Am I
That is,
destined to be alone forever?
yeah.
Did you push record?
Thanks so much for joining us on Second Act TV. I'm so happy to welcome back motivational coach and life strategy specialist, Joni Caldwell Lerner. Joni, thanks so much for joining us again.
Yay. Hi, Silka. I'm always so happy to be here. You know that. They know
I
that.
do, and I have such fun talking with you. Joni, I want to revisit a topic today that we actually covered about a year ago, and it's between what you and I have done, one of our most popular videos. Important topic. It's about dating and body image, especially, as we age, self-esteem, how that affects us going out there. And finding love again. And I know this comes up in with your clients all the time. So you're the perfect person to talk. One thing I want to mention before I throw it over to you is that, I looked it up, see what's been written about that recently. And it's interesting that body image isn't really attributed much to our age group. Everything is so focused on the young. And the other thing that I thought was really interesting was that they're starting to do research now on male body image. That's a big topic as well. And again, all focused on the young people, not on our age group. So you and I are going to focus
Let's focus on who
on
matters.
our people. So Joe, let's talk about that. I'll get to exactly the question that it almost made me, you just get sad when you read this. And that's I'm old. I'll read here what you sent me. I'm old, fat, my hair's falling out, my body is drooping. Who's going to love me? Am I destined to be alone forever?
Yeah. And that's almost a quote. That's almost an exact quote. And I would never share, exact things or who they are or anything like that. But it is a common question. It's almost an amalgamation of several clients. And so we are so indoctrinated. We have these limiting beliefs from society, from our parents, from television, from social media, if you're on there. We're so indoctrinated to think it actually freaking matters. Now you're looking at me, and I did my hair and I did my makeup, and I took some great care. That makes me feel good. Some women don't wear makeup. Some guys, they don't care what their hair looks like. It is what makes you feel good about yourself. What causes you to have confidence in going out? Because I've talked about this before with you, Silke. It's about the energy we put out. It's about how we feel about ourselves. And I do want to. Can I segue into the guys for a
Of
minute? Even
course.
though I'm not a guy, I so appreciate that so many of your viewers are men.
Yes.
And I have known in my coaching practice men who have lost 60 pounds but had no emotional attachment whatsoever to how they looked. It was fascinating to me because as a woman, it was so tied into my self-worth because I was told I was supposed to look a certain way. And in fact, my father used to talk about Mitzi Gaynor and her long gams. And I thought, oh, that matters. But I also have coached men who are emotional eaters and who are devastated and in shame, just like some women have experienced.
If I interject one thing, and I thought that was interesting in the reading, is what men are most concerned about. Again, just one article I read wasn't necessarily the weight, like you just said, but muscle tone, hair, and height.
Okay, so here's the deal. I get that we women are raised on Disney princess stuff, and the prince is always way tall and all that stuff. I happen to be a tall woman, so my husband was only 5'8", and and we looked eye to eye, but it was not his height that I married.
Right.
And regarding hair, that question that was given to you from a woman, we lose hair too. We absolutely have that issue, and it has to do with hormones. And honestly, I mean, some of the sexiest, most handsome guys out there, I'm moonlighting, right? Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So he's never had a whole lot of hair. And then he went shaved, bald. And I think when that style came in for guys, it was really a powerful freedom. I guess the other thing about that is to know that all of us, as we age, have things happen. Mm-hmm. And no one is really noticing or caring about it, but you. Stop focusing on it. Start really, what makes me excited about life? What do I want to do? Who's the kind of woman that I want to connect with? Who's the kind of guy I want to connect with? And we're talking about heart and soul, not how many hairs on the head.
Right. Right. Well, and yeah, that's all true. And as we say very often, or as I usually point out, it's so much easier said than done. Like this woman or this group of clients that you're talking about in this very, very difficult question. How do you help someone? Because I know we have lots of people listening who feel the same.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what I focus on. It has nothing to do with the way they look. Everybody has their own beauty, their own brand of beauty, their own inner gorgeousness. What I coach people is fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with yourself. And then they're like, well, how do I do that? Start doing, if you want self-esteem, do esteemable things. Start doing self-care things. Start doing things that says outwardly, I love me. And it may be a mani-pedi. It may be, go golf. It could be anything. Let your hair go gray, dye your hair. It doesn't matter, but find ways to fall in love with yourself. And I get into more specifics, but you can journal. You can create an affirmation. I am a loving, courageous, self-respecting woman, and put that on your thing. I am, for a man, an open, honest, loving man. What you want to bring forth in yourself. Put that affirmation out there for you. You change those things, you'll begin to fall in love with all of you. Because if you're judging from the outside, thinking that's your self-worth, you're in so much trouble because you're just going to get older. You're never going to be younger than you are in this moment right now. So just enjoy that.
Yeah. And I think it's the comparison that has done so much damage, not just to the younger people. And I think it's all over the news right now with Instagram, the body image issues. But we are kind of left out of that picture. and I guess part of what I want to do is validate that you're not alone in believing this, but we probably are believing it for all the wrong reasons.
Right. So you're not alone in believing this. It's really getting to what matters to you and what is your compelling future. What do you want to, what's the experience that you want to have in life? Okay. Older people are the most exciting people to me. I love the young people. I really do. But they've had experiences. They've traveled. They are rich and deep and layered and like a tapestry. To me, that's fascinating. And other cultures revere the older, the old crones. I guess I'd qualify for that. So their wisdom, what do they have to contribute still? We have so much to contribute. Please don't buy the lie that life is over after 50 or 60. It is a lie, and it is your choice. Right. So you become victim to that idea. And then if you believe it, then you create it, you perpetuate it, but you have the power. So we talk a lot about that. What is true? Is that true? Where'd that belief come from? Was that your parents' belief? Was that society's belief? Let's go all the way back and look at it. Is it true? No. Guaranteed.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's an important topic. Interesting that the men are finally, I'm saying finally because this is something that was usually not discussed. So the mental health issues that are created for men with body image it's good that that's finally coming up.
Yeah, I think yes. And I think the body image issues are a little different. And in my experience of dating, for example, when I first started dating, to me, a very handsome man, 60 years old, gray hair. He was probably, to his saying, about 30, 35 pounds overweight. And he had tattoos. I'd never dated anyone with tattoos. I was fascinated. So I found that really exciting. But I found him really sexy. I found him really, for me, I was like, whoa, very. And he had these insecurities, and I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, I recognize that. I understand that. And so in a way, it made me feel, okay, I can relate to this guy. And it somehow validated my own insecurities. Because I've talked about this before, having been cloistered and married for 30 years, I didn't know how I would be received in the world as a single woman at all. So knowing that we all have a common need to be loved. I mean, that's the bottom line. We all have a need for connection. And if we can just get past that stuff, and if I can talk to the guys for a minute, it totally doesn't matter who you are. It's not about your bank account. It's not about the numbers of hairs on your head, and it's not about the biceps.
You know what's interesting too, and you touched on it, is because of the body image issues, going back out into the world of dating and heaven forbid getting intimate with someone new after so long, big issue. And the example you just gave, there was a man who had a similar story, which is that he was dating a woman, like maybe she was 20, maybe even 30 pounds overweight. And he just loved her. He thought he was attractive. Everything was great. But she became so incredibly insecure when it came down to getting intimate that was the turnoff.
Yeah. So the inner work is what's critical. I have a client who is absolutely stunning. To me, she's stunning. She's overweight in her eyes, and she won't start dating yet. And I'm like, well, go practice a date. You're not looking for the one. You're looking for an adventure, an experience, connecting. And you have no idea how you're going to be received because her energy is so alive. And I call her sunshine. I mean, you probably know half a dozen guys out there would love to have some sunshine in their life, So whatever it is you want, go for it. That's what I would say.
Well,
figure out a way to get there.
Well, it's an important topic, and we'd love to hear your comments, your questions, which have inspired these segments, your stories. Share your stories. And
yeah,
Joni, is there anything else you want to leave with us on this topic?
Well, you mentioned comparison at one point, and I have found that the worst comparison for our age group is comparing ourselves to us 30 years ago. Seriously. Because I'm never going to be 25 again. Okay, 31.
Great point.
So anyway, again, just be the best you can be at this moment in time.
Well, I think one of the big things is just to recognize that whatever securities you're feeling, everybody has that. And it's just a matter of it's the confidence, is being confident in yourself is the most attractive quality. That'll surpass any flaws that you think you have. And with that, Joni, we will link to all of your information to your podcast, Spiritual Aliveness with Joni. And I look forward to seeing you back on Second Act TV.
See you soon.
If you haven't done so already, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. The button is right here. Just click on through to YouTube, and when you see the little bell right next to the subscribe button, hit that too, and we'll notify you every time we launch a new video. See you next time.